Hey everyone, it's Southern Belle Canto. Welcome back to my channel. I have another book review for you. The book I will be reviewing today is The Pet Boutique by Suzie Carr. My spice rating for this book was a 2 for mild, brief sexual scenes, and my Goodreads rating for this book was 5 stars. I've been really lucky this November. So far, every single book or novella I've read has been a 5-star read, which hasn't happened in a really long time. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm also sort of hoping that December doesn't have a lot of low ratings because I'm like on a book high right now. I have so many great books that I've enjoyed this month. And this book did not disappoint. I was so enthralled with this story. Absolutely loved it. It was very cozy and very sweet. So this is a contemporary sapphic romance. So we have two heroines, but I would say that the main heroine of the story and the main protagonist would probably be Taylor Henshaw. So our heroines are Taylor Henshaw and Lexie Tanner. I never really knew her last name, but Lexie Tanner. And those are our two heroines. And I would say that the book is mostly from Taylor Henshaw's point of view. And Taylor is such a remarkable woman. I was really enthralled with her character. We meet her as a 18/maybe 19-year-old at the very beginning of the story. So when we meet Taylor, she's about 18 to 19. She's taken a gap year from high school, between high school and college. And we meet her boarding a bus sort of about, I'd say, a couple hours or so away from where she lives. And she has just recently given up her daughter for adoption. She was basically an 18-year-old mother, and she doesn't go into detail about what happened with the father or things like that. But I'm assuming things didn't work out or something didn't mesh. And so she was coming up with decisions about what to do with the child. And so she was at the abortion clinic, and she's handed a card for a woman named Ms. Peabody, who is like basically not like a women's shelter, but she helps teen and young mothers. And so we meet Taylor leaving Ms. Peabody's place and going back home after the adoption of her daughter has taken place. And so Taylor is very distraught, as I think most people would be. And she's going into a gas station as she's riding the bus to go back home. And while there, she wins a lottery ticket. She buys a lottery ticket and she wins $5,000. And as she says in the story, that gives her so many opportunities. She can go and take more classes. She can sort of better herself in ways and have more advantages than she would have without the $5,000. But instead, she decides to give it back to Miss Peabody for all of the help that she's given her. She grew up in a sort of unaccepting home and knew that she would basically be kicked out of her home if her mother knew that she was pregnant. And so she figured her options were either abortion, or later on she found Ms. Peabody and gave up that child for adoption. So the story jumps about 18 years ahead, and I think that was either chapter 2 or the previous 18 years were a prologue. And so now Taylor is about 36 to 37, and she has a new life. She is trying to be a writer, but sadly she has suffered many personal losses. Her husband sadly passed away a few years before the novel starts, and also her dog passed away about 4 months before the story begins as well. So she has suffered many losses and has had many obstacles. Well, her best friend Maya, who was also her, I would say, editor / publicist in a way, she has an idea to help sort of cure Taylor's writer's block. She says, I'm hoping to open up this pet boutique to have a place for dogs to get second chances and, you know, have all the accoutrements for the pets, whether that be pet adoption or it doesn't go into what they want this store to be, but in my head, it was basically pet adoptions with pets of all ages, as well as probably some grooming and dog training, as well as like you could probably buy leashes and dog shampoo and things like that. That in my head, that's what a pet boutique would be. I wasn't quite sure. I'd actually heard that term before. I just think of like a pet store. But I love the idea of the pet boutique. And so Taylor agrees because Maya's her best friend and sort of acts like I wouldn't say a mothering figure, but like an aunt or very close cousin figure to Taylor. And so she agrees and she's going to help. And while there, she has a very really cute meet cute with our other heroine, Lexie. Lexie she's doing something to help, you know, clean and declutter the space that they've bought to renovate for the pet boutique. And she is terrified of spiders. And while trying to get rid of the spider that has landed on her shirt, she somehow like fully takes off her shirt. And this is as soon as Taylor walks in. So there's this sort of mad woman screaming all over, running around without a shirt on when Taylor meets Lexie. And it was just such a really cute meet cute. I mean, hence the name meet cute. They meet and it's a really cute situation. But oh my gosh, that was just so funny to read about. And there was just a lot of really sweet humor in this story and a lot of just sweet moments. I really got the idea of like a cozy romance from this. And it was just really heartwarming, which I found to be really interesting because when I took gay and lesbian literature in college, a lot of what my professor talked about was like, oh, life is so depressing and so sad. And with books like this, it's a completely different genre. It's completely different from Radcliffe Hall's The Well of Loneliness, which ends with suicide. So it's lovely to have not only a really sweet and heartwarming, cozy romance, but also for it to be sapphic. So that was just really awesome. I love to see inclusivity. And I love to read stories that don't put labels into boxes. I hope that comes off clear. But usually, or typically, I don't want to say that like this, but for some reason, in gay and lesbian, LGBTQ plus A literature, it's either very sexually dominant or very depressing and sad and upsetting and the world's going to end. And that's not fun to read. I mean, some of the high sexual content can be fun, but it's also like you're sexualizing someone because of their sexuality. So it's a little, you know, taken advantage of. And I really enjoyed that this book was a sweet, cozy romance that just happened to be a sapphic romance. It was lovely because there's so many stories that don't do this. This book was just wonderful. It was just a lovely, cozy story. It had great characters, had a wonderful plot, and just a really sweet and genuine romance between the two characters that I absolutely loved. A bonus to the story was the dog Cashmere, which is Lexie's dog. I believe it was a white boxer. I'm not really great with pet names, but I'm pretty sure it was a white boxer, which just really fit that dog's personality. It had so many cute moments in the story. I know a lot of people get annoyed with like babies and children in romance novels, but Cashmere is a dog, which, you know, most people like dogs, or at least cats. And Cashmere was just lovely. And the dog actually brought really cute moments into the story as this lighthearted character. Even though the book didn't go into too deep of like drama, the dog still worked as like a funny work. He worked. The dog Cashmere, she helped to lighten the mood, which I really enjoyed. And the dog also sort of gave commentary in how dogs give commentary, which I thought was really funny. Like the dog was like looking back and forth, and you're like, the dog knows what's up. The dog knows that there is romance blossoming, and they need to get Lexie and Taylor need to get it together because Cashmere is in on what's going on. And I just thought that was really cute. I could really picture it in my head. As I've said many times, when I read, it's like watching a movie. And so I just saw this dog like stealing the show, which the dog Loki does kind of steal the show in the book. And I even said in my written review that Cashmere would make such a lovely lead in a children's book, like an illustrated children's book. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I loved Cashmere. And I just love the story. Even the secondary characters in the story were really fun. And there was a really good sense of community and family, and not just like physical family, but like, I think the term is founded family, which I also really enjoyed. I do want to say that there are some triggers, which I've sort of said, and those would be loss of spouse, loss of pet, and I also said adoption. I don't mean like adoption as like you've adopted someone that's sad, but like you're in the situation and you have to give up your child. I would think that would be so traumatic. So I definitely put that as a trigger for those that need to know that kind of information before going into a book. Well, I absolutely love this. This was by Suzie Carr, yet again, The Pet Boutique. I have a physical copy. This is, I believe, I don't know if it's exclusively Amazon, but you can get this currently. This is November 23rd. November 22nd. And it is $12.99 to buy the paperback. And I believe it's $3.99 to buy the like Kindle edition. And the book is, this is the paper version, and it's 250 pages. And I started this yesterday, which was Sunday night, and I finished it around 3:30 this afternoon. So very quick read, very fun and entertaining. And just pick this up. It was a lovely story. It was, if you're looking for a lighthearted, cozy romance that isn't heavy on strong drama, but is sort of like a melodrama in a way, I would definitely pick this up. It was very sweet. I've said that like 1,000 times, but just a lovely, cozy story, and I think people should read it because it was just really wonderful. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed my review. Don't forget to like, subscribe, as well as comment. You can also follow me on Instagram as well as TikTok, both at Southern Bel Canto. Well, everyone, have a great day. I'm thinking this is probably going to go up as part of my Vlogmas. Ergo my Christmas tree and my little Christmas decoration. But it's the week of Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate, and happy Vlogmas. So have a great day, and I'll see you soon for another video. Bye, everyone.